Good morning, folks. Fware here. It's been a sleepless night. I woke up at about 11:30 last night, and I haven't gotten any sleep since. It's about 4 now. I'm going to be heading into work soon, so this is going to be a long day. But I figured in the time that I have between now and heading on to work, I'd tell you the story of when I first realized that I couldn't believe in God. I figured I'd keep it a little bit topical anyhow. So I was 6 years old, living in some apartments in the rough little neighborhood in our town, and we had been going to church on a fairly regular basis every Sunday, and I'd been doing Sunday school and all that, but none of it really made much sense to me. Of course, when you're 6 years old, Sunday school consists primarily of, playing with Legos and shit, and just hanging out with the other kids and trying not to get into fights and whatever else 6-year-olds do. So the whole religion thing didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, and of course all that sitting in church listening to the homily business was just as boring as anything. So I didn't think too much about it until one day it began to occur to me that I was having a little bit of trouble believing in this whole God and Jesus business, and I felt really bad about it. I felt guilty. I felt like, 6 years old, I felt like, oh man, well, if I don't believe in them, if I don't continuously refresh my mental image of them and my belief in them, then I don't know what, then something bad is going to happen, or there will be some dark judgment against me or something. I don't really know what I thought, but it was a cause of great anxiety, and I remember it. I don't remember the date, I don't remember the time, but I remember the feeling of anxiety very clearly. And so over the course of a couple of weeks, I was agonizing about it, and it kept me up at night. I think, in fact, it may be the first time that I ever experienced insomnia, which is why tonight harkens back to that moment in my life. I remember for a couple of weeks, it must have been, laying there in bed trying to get to sleep, fretting over the nature of the universe and whether there is in fact a God. Finally, I just came to the conclusion that I could no longer force myself to believe in something for which there was no evidence. Now, this is not to say that I was an entirely rational creature at 6 years old. Far from it. I went through many sorts of spiritual and religious permutations between then and now. However, during none of those permutations of my spirituality did I ever actually really believe that there was a literal deity driving the universe. So, yeah, it was when I was 6 years old that I first kind of got that stark taste of rationality, and I'm not sure what I associated with it, but it was a great relief at the time to allow myself to drift off to sleep without feeling discomfort or disquiet at agonizing over the nature of the universe and whether there is a God. So that was my experience, my very first experience of deconversion, if you will. Not that I was ever particularly religious to begin with, because really, what child is? So that's my story. Tell me yours. Tell me your deconversions, maybe, yes, but also about your conversions, those of you out there who are theists. I'm interested in hearing about that experience, about your experiences as children or as adults, your first forays into religion or into spirituality. I'd love to hear about it. It would definitely help keep me awake while I'm at work today. So, ulterior motives ahoy. Alright, folks. Good luck out there. Take care.